Hey there guys, Zach here from WinBeta and welcome to episode number 68 of the WinBeta podcast for the week of June 3rd, 2016. With me is co-host Sean Michael. Hey there Sean.
Hey there Zach.
And this week we have a number of pretty cool stories. We have a new head of the Windows Insider program. We'll be talking more about her in today's episode. We've also got a new Windows 10 mobile build, HoloLens build. The first HoloLens build has been released. A bunch of app leaks, such as the Skype Universal Windows Platform one, and don't we have the Facebook Messenger app as well that kind of half leaks this week?
Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll add that in there and it'll fit in snugly.
We've also got a number of other stuff that we will also be talking about. So, how are you, Sean?
I'm all right this week. I got lots of new apps to play with. We're close enough to signing off that I went fast ring on my phone and slow ring on my main device. So, playing with all the new stuff, and then also we got, as you already mentioned, some new apps come out this week, so it's pretty fun.
Yes, very fun.
How about you? How you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Not doing bad at all. Let's dive into our first story. Gabe is no longer head of the Windows Insider program.
Is it cancelled?
It's not cancelled.
Are you sure? Is now Windows 10 as dead as Windows 10 Mobile?
No. In fact,
okay.
we've got
what's going on?
We've got a new head in town, and my word is the new head pretty awesome. Her name is Donna Sarkar or Sakar. I don't know how to spell that last name. Donna.
Let's call her Donna because I'm pretty sure that part's right.
Yeah, Donna. I like the name Donna because
we're
my favorite.
On a first name basis now.
My favorite.
I tweeted her once. First name basis.
My favorite companion in Doctor Who was Donna. So there you go.
See, this is perfect.
I'm already familiar with the name. So yes, Donna is the new head of the Insider program. She has been around at Microsoft for a very long time. 15? How long did you say, Sean?
I didn't say.
I'm sure I read it somewhere. But
she's done quite a bit for us, though.
She's done a lot. So
yeah.
If you don't know who Donna is, you likely know her work. She's one. If you're one of 1.5 billion people using Windows, you have likely used something she's built. If you've ever looked at for an app or setting on your computer, you've probably used the search box that Sakar's team made. Even if you used the handy File Explorer tool in Windows, that's Donna's work as well. Have you ever logged into a new device and been elated to find your profile of files and settings in text? That's also Donna's work. So Donna's has been part of the Windows team for a long time. She's done lots of work behind the scenes.
So was that Gabe on her?
Gabe on her? Yeah, I think that was
quote from Gabe.
That was Gabe talking about her.
Yeah, cool.
Gabe also said, "I've worked with Donna for many years, and I think she's the perfect person to guide the Windows Insider program forward. Her technical expertise, passion for customers, and commitment to listening to feedback is unmatched." On her first day, she released a Windows 10 mobile build, which was pretty nice. But today, she's shut down any possibility of a desktop build because she said that they need to flight. See, sadly, she's not relaxing the criteria.
She's already on your bad list, actually.
Yeah, already on my bad list.
Took her 1 week. Already done.
2 days and she's saying no to new builds already. Just outrageous.
How dare she?
But yes, she's self-described as an absolute device hardware geek and has worked as the lead developer for Windows Vista on device-focused features like autoplay, Bluetooth and Blu-ray integration for Windows. She relished the opportunity to shape how the system fits with things that you expect to work flawlessly with your computer. As the operating system evolved into Windows 7 and 8, Donna was responsible for the Windows search experience. She managed the teams that created the search box in Windows 7 Start menu, the File Explorer tool, and the Open Save dialogues. She helped lead the innovation of search in Windows 8 for tablets and finding apps, files, and settings. It's not only that, but she uses Windows to run for businesses. In fact, I believe she owns at least one of them. On her personal website, she says she's run fashion stuff. She's a published author. She's got a lot under her belt. And
and we're just sitting here on a podcast.
Yeah, we're unsuccessful. Unlike
you meet these people. But no, she sounds incredible. Microsoft does this pretty often where they have someone when it is time for someone to move on, they have someone very experienced.
Yeah, I feel like Donna's gonna handle the Insider program very well. It was weird at first, knowing that Gabe would no longer be the go-to guy for build information and stuff, since he was no longer in charge of it. He's focused. He's still on the build team, but he's not obviously head of the Insider program. So there's no point going to him asking for a new build. You now go to Donna, pretty much.
I would stay on the build team just so I could keep getting builds, though.
I mean, if you work at Microsoft, I think you're allowed access to the builds anyway. So,
so yeah, some people have asked why Gabe is leaving, and as you said, he wasn't fired or anything. Before, if you haven't read the story, obviously go check out the full news. But yeah, he's still with Microsoft. He's still with the build team. He wanted to focus more on the engineering side of it. Some of these it's pretty laborious task to do. The front-facing stuff, well, still, it wasn't like Gabe's only job was to press a button. Like, he's a busy guy, and so now he can focus more on the engineering side of it. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully we'll still see him around some, but I think it's a good handoff to a very experienced and well-versed person in the Microsoft ecosystem.
yeah, it's funny because up until recently, Gabe used to always tweet from either a Windows phone or TweetDeck. Then over the last week or so, I noticed he started using an iPhone. I thought,
Oh,
maybe he's already... I guess at that point he wasn't really bothered about Windows Phone anymore. Because not many people at Microsoft are.
well, I'm okay generally. If you work for Microsoft, I don't think you should have to use a Windows phone.
No, they don't have to.
But if you're in charge of insider builds for Windows phones, you probably should be running a Windows phone.
Yeah, of course. And now,
But if
since he's
not,
no longer in
then
charge...
whatever.
I mean, he's still... I mean, like I said, he's still part of the build team. He still is part of the team that builds to be released. So I guess in that sense, he's probably got a Windows Phone lying about to test. But, hooray! They released release notes for build 586.338, which is nice.
I wonder how long Don will be around. If this will be kind of... Gabe was around leading up to Windows 10 and then the official release and then all the major updates, and we basically, I think now with the update that we received this week, we're probably getting pretty close, if not have already received the last update that the public will receive for non-insider builds, right?
What do you mean?
Well, I can't imagine that 10.586 is going to get many more public-facing updates because
I think there might be 2 more.
But so we're winding down on that. So I wonder, are they going to have where a person's in charge of it for one major release cycle? Once we get through Redstone 2 and 3, are they going to move on to another person just because the burden it puts on them? I'll be curious. But regardless, I do think it's in good hands.
I think it depends on whether the job that they have at Microsoft is... takes up too much of their time, because one of the reasons Gabe is stepping down as head is because he can't focus entirely on his other job, which is obviously part of the build team and as insider head. So he's obviously stepped down so he can focus on the other job more, and Donna's stepped up. So I guess if Donna stepped up now, I guess she right now is able to juggle whatever she's doing at Microsoft. But I mean, who knows, in the future she might get a promotion doing other things in Microsoft and need to pass the torch over to someone else. Which, by the way, I'm totally down for owning the crown of the insider program if you're up for it, Microsoft.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Hit me up.
Yeah, I think you have to be a developer. I don't think you can just like builds.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate.
I don't think they're going to put Brian Roper in charge of the insider program.
This is why...
Actually, he probably does a lot of things actually on the back end, too. I don't want to slight him.
Surely the being head of the insider program simply means you get up in the morning, you go into work, you sit around a table where all of your minions build the builds, and you say, is a new build ready to go out? And they say yes, and then you press the button to release it. If they say no, then you say you don't press the button. Surely that's what you have to do.
It's just like the emperor in Rome. You just like...
Do I press it? Sometimes if you're feeling a bit
Brian
cheeky...
Roper is probably way smarter than me. Does a ton of stuff for Microsoft I don't know about. So
I'm pretty sure it's a tough job, and only the best can do it.
Yeah. So there's that. Is there anything else on the shifts?
Not
Do you
really.
have a favorite Gabe memory?
Favorite Gable moment was probably yesterday or today.
When they did handover stuff?
No. When he was, because somebody asked him, so could you tell us how many lines of code there are in the Windows source code? And he just replied with several. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
There are several lines of source code in the Windows source code.
Yep. More than 4.
More than 4.
So yeah, I think it's great. I like that he embraced the fact that we were so hungry for it, and he teased, pictures with the red button and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's good. I'm glad he did a good job. Look forward to it. Look forward to many, many, many more builds. Many builds. All the builds.
All the builds, indeed.
All right. Well, speaking of Windows 10, and it's continuing to rise. Windows 10 has surpassed Windows 7 in terms of usage in the United States. The headline says North America, but let's see. Stat Counter says OS in North America. Text said US, but I'll go with North America. It passed, so apparently Windows 10 is now used, according to Stat Counter, 28.82% of the market, which is slightly over. I have to go in because Windows 7 is 28.65. So it's almost a tie at the moment, but it is now leaning towards Windows 10. Let's see here. In just the United States, the discrepancy is slightly higher at almost a full percent. But the bottom line is that it continues to grow. There are some other countries that it's doing well in, like Oceania, for example. It's the number one, passing OS X, which is surprisingly bigger than Windows 7.
Really?
That's what this stat counter says. It says Stat Counter Global Stats top 7 desktop OSs in Oceania on 29th of May 2016. Windows 10 is number 1, OS X is number 2, Windows 7 is number 3.
That's crazy. Anywhere else in the world, Mac OS X is nowhere near top of the list.
Actually, yeah, they say, in Australia, it's, Though if you put, Mac is still only about 20%, and then the rest is probably Windows and a mixture of Linux and things. So yeah, I think it's going to continue to go up. But Zach, do you think, we're going to talk about this, I guess, as we get closer, but we can talk about this now a bit. Do you think there's going to be a big spike before the 1 year mark where the free promotion ends? Do you think a bunch of people are going to jump on board, or have people already kind of signed off this forever?
I don't think there's going to be a huge spike. Microsoft's internal projections seem to think that there'll be a steady progression in market share and amount of users using it. So by July, this year, they expect to have, or by the end of September, they expect to have at least 375 million, up to 400 million. Sure, I mean, they're on track, and Microsoft is, right now at least, is very happy with the projection at the rate in which Windows 10 is being adopted. They don't seem to think it will slow down yet, and I don't see why it would, considering many people aren't upgrading to Windows 10 now anyway. If you haven't upgraded now, they probably won't upgrade at all at this point.
You probably run out of the people that are going to take advantage of the free upgrade or would upgrade their current PC at all. Obviously, there might be a few stragglers who don't know about it or we're waiting until certain features showed up. But I would say, generally speaking, if you haven't upgraded to Windows 10 on your main PC already, you're probably not going to jump on it like 9 months from now and say like, oh, I didn't know about this.
No, yeah, most people from here on out, if they're going to be using Windows 10, it'll be because they bought a new PC that came with Windows 10.
I would say some of the new features that come with Windows 10's anniversary update could sway some folks.
Yeah, but I mean, that will be released in July and probably not too long. And there probably won't be a long time. I don't even think Microsoft... it depends on when they release, obviously. Do you reckon they'll release early July?
What if... I don't know. Here's the thought. What if Microsoft sits there and goes... I don't know why I'm holding a wrench. Anyway. What if Microsoft sat there and said, the anniversary update rolls out the beginning of July, and said, we've now put this in the form of a cumulative update, where you can update straight from Windows 7 to the anniversary update and gain these features right now. And then you have 3 or 4 weeks to do it.
There's a month left. Now's the time.
That could work.
But if that's the case, then they've got an RTM. They've got to sign off within the next 5 days to 10 days, and then have it tested.
They could. You don't know that. They could.
I don't know if they would sign off in the next 10 days. I think we've got at least three more weeks of development before they sign off on anything. I mean, put it this way: I'd be very surprised if they signed off within a week or so. Very surprised.
Well, that makes me sad because I want if people want, I think that from Microsoft's perspective, there are some features coming with the anniversary update. Some people it would push them over the edge, whether it be text messaging through their computer. Is that still on the way, by the way?
Yeah. It's already
sure?
It's in the insider preview right now.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on the slow ring on my PC. Yeah.
It should have it on the slow ring.
I can text message. I don't think it works.
Oh, from the messaging app. Yeah, it does. That's done for ages.
Huh. Maybe this week.
I'm trying to figure out when 10.2.40 was released to insiders.
No, it says read-only message for me.
You haven't set up properly.
All right. I
Oh
will
no,
set
I
it
guess so Microsoft released 10.2.40 to insiders on July 15th and it rolled out officially on July 29th. When was 10.2.40 compiled? I'm trying to work it out live on the air. So if we go to thingy, I can search 10.2.40. Oh boy.
I have no idea. I will stall for time while you do that, I guess. Oh, well, in any event, it surpassed it. I think it's good. I think it'll continue to rise, but I don't think it's going to rise at the rate Microsoft thinks. I do think it'll peter out for a bit, and then I think 2 or 3 or 4 years from now, people start running out of their devices and they'll have to update because they'll only be buying new devices and they're going to have Windows 10 on them.
Yeah, so 10.2.40 was compiled on July 9th, it was released on July 15th, and it rolled out officially on July 29th. I assume 10.5.86 followed a similar pattern. So I guess Microsoft could compile, if Microsoft wants to release the anniversary update on July 29th, they still have a little over a month of development.
Right.
I assume they will want to release earlier.
Okay.
But, I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, the second half of July is probably where they're aiming for, so around a month, maybe slightly less time of development left before
I will be at my wedding, and you guys will all deal with that news. Remember, I get married July 30th, so have fun with that.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, we should probably move on to we got a mobile build this week as well.
Yes, build 14.356. So this build actually is pretty cool. It includes a couple of noteworthy changes. You can now get notifications from your phone on your PC. So if you jump into Cortana, you can finally edit notifications. So whatever notifications you receive on your phone can show up in the Action Center on your PC. I don't know if that means Universal Dismiss is in. I assume it is. So I haven't tried it. So if you dismiss a notification on your Action Center on your PC, I assume it will be dismissed on your phone as well. Haven't tried that, so I can't confirm if that's actually the case. But notifications will show up on your PC via your phone now, which is very nice. You can also send a photo from your phone to your PC, which is something I didn't know was coming until it was announced. So if you need to...
I also didn't know there was a demand for this, but whatever.
Yeah, so if you need to quickly transfer a photo from your phone to your PC wirelessly, just ask Cortana to send this photo to my PC and see what happens. This feature is currently exclusive to Windows 10 phones. Interesting how they added that as a note. Exclusive to Windows 10 phones. Well, I mean, I expect that to be.
Well, yeah, but Cortana's pretty integrated. Cortana even works with the Microsoft Band 2 on Android now.
I guess so, yeah. There's a new listening animation, so when you talk to Cortana, before it used to just do the random text letters changing, now it's an actual waveform, which wave animation, which is very nice. Lots and lots of fixes, which I'm not going to jump through. And only 4 known issues. 5. One was added later. Your phone may freeze after touching the screen immediately after enabling narrator. Keep that in mind. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. We are, like I said, towards the end of development now, so it makes sense to see lots and lots of fixes and a very few amount of known issues for these builds. No desktop build this week, sadly. Donna has said that the build that they wanted to fly does have the fix that they have wanted in, but since it was only compiled very recently, they need to flight it internally first. So next week, I imagine, will be when a desktop build rolls out. But yeah, look, I'm pretty excited. I can't wait now for the anniversary update to just be ready.
I'm really excited for everything to just work. Like, I got a little taste, because like I said, I don't have enough spare devices, so I switched pretty late in the process on my main. Ooh, you just get a taste of some of these new features, and it just looks nice. The settings menu just feels a little nicer. Those icons look a little bit better, and then the syncing and the features and it's just so good. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, me too. Very, very exciting. I also forgot to put the banner up, so I'm doing that now.
Anyway, all right. Well, I think I'll move on. Oh, is there anything else from that build? Like I said, there aren't a lot of problems with that build.
No,
but
that's pretty much
good news. Anyway, well, we got another new build this week for a device that doesn't get updated nearly as frequently. For as much as people say Windows Phone is dead, there's a ton of updates for it.
Yeah.
But the HoloLens received a new build. I don't think they do an insider ring for the HoloLens, do they?
Not yet.
But in any event, they have released this. We have a video if you'd like to see it. Obviously, I'm going to talk about it right now, but feel free to watch that as well, where Sean Ung just ran through some of these. It's obviously with the HoloLens, it's better to kind of see it, but let me run through some of these now. You can run multiple flat apps at the same time, so you can kind of have Edge over here and a screen over there with your films and TV, and then another Photos app over there. They've made some changes to developing stuff. You can now, let's see here, Groove Music is now on HoloLens, which is nice. Specifically in Sean Ung's video, he showed off the feature where if you leave and this is amazing, Zach. This is the phrasing that he used. Because, yeah, if you leave a hologram and you forget where you left it, you can say, Groove Music up here, and it'll come in, or whatever he said, and it appears in front of him. And so, you pin a hologram or place it here, and then you walk up the stairs like he did, and then you go, bam, Groove Music will show up right there. So that's really nice.
I think it's hilarious how we're living in a time in which we can lose a program in your house.
Yeah, you just,
I've lost
where
Groove.
did I leave that hologram in my house?
Where did I leave Mail? Where did I leave Edge? Damn it, I've lost Edge.
It is incredible. Really, that's that mixed reality that people are talking about. It does adapt to the environment that you're in. You can now rotate holograms, so you can sit there and move them around. Well, I think there's more of a click and that sort of thing. Let's see here. You can now take mixed reality photos. This is all from Microsoft's, just their release notes on it. But by simply pressing down on the volume up plus volume down simultaneously, you can also share your mixed reality capture photos and videos to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, which is incredible. They've upped the recording length, which is also good. There's some other changes. Storage sense showed up. I also think they made some changes to, let's see, they had voice commands, bigger, smaller, hey Cortana. Just a lot of really good things. You can now watch things, I want to say without borders. Have they changed how the borders work?
Because
I remember in Sean Ung's video, he pinned a photo to the wall, and he said it looked like one of those canvas borderless pictures, and it absolutely does. It just looks like you have a photo on the wall. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. Now, I just thought about it. The reason why there isn't an insider preview for the HoloLens yet is because only people who have it right now are developers. So,
that's the point.
I mean, everybody, I assume, is an insider with the HoloLens at least. So any build that they release for the HoloLens is fine, since it's not out officially. So yeah, so the build that was released the HoloLens, the build that shipped for the HoloLens was not an RTM build. It wasn't a final build.
Oh, okay.
Microsoft internally, now I know this probably makes sense considering it's the anniversary update, but internally Microsoft is aiming for the anniversary update to be the RTM build for HoloLens. Now that doesn't mean Microsoft plans on shipping HoloLens officially in July or this year for that matter, but Microsoft is aiming for the RS1 build. Final build to be the RTM for HoloLens. So that's the thing, because like with Windows 10 Mobile, the Windows 10 RTM 10240 was not really the RTM for mobile. That was 10586. So this will be the case for whatever the RS1 final build is, will be the RTM for obviously PC, phone, Xbox, server, and HoloLens, even though HoloLens isn't officially available to buy yet. It's funny, I think it's Alex's name, isn't it? The guy who runs HoloLens. He said, I tweeted saying, it's not fair how I can't have a HoloLens. And he was like, well, you can, just buy one. I was like, if only I was American. He didn't respond to that, sadly.
Yeah,
So
there you go. Well, I also don't have $3,000, even if I was in the US.
speaking of, if you're a developer because I believe the developers who have been allowed to buy HoloLens can buy 2 or 3.
Oh,
if you are
yes,
a developer,
that-
if you're a developer who has a spare HoloLens purchase lying about, I want to talk to you.
So send your messages to Zach. He's available
On Twitter, just DM me and I'll be there.
So there you go. Yeah, honestly, Zach, I think that the update is pretty substantial, and then it shows Microsoft's making big strides to make it much more, I almost want to say a replacement to your devices. I think they want to get to what Sean does is he has a little battery pack that he plugs his HoloLens in while he's using it.
Yeah.
And obviously eventually they want battery life to be better without that sort of stuff. But I think we're trying to get to a point where you just sit down and you just have everything set up, and it's, we're a long way from fulfilling the video that they made promoting the HoloLens. Oh, actually, we should talk about that as well in a second about Microsoft Holographic. But we're a long way from that being a complete reality, but it really is exciting.
I'm thinking about it. Why did Microsoft just release... I know HoloLens is pretty great in itself, but why not have like say for a room, like with 4 corners, obviously, just 4 different projectors that sit in each corner of the room, and they all connect to each other, and then you can just project holograms into the room, and just like with your eyeballs see them in real life. I think that would be better, honestly.
I don't know. I think that's hard with 3D and rendering and that sort of
And
thing.
then I could be able to be like with my hands just flick them about, and I don't know, maybe the technology is probably not there. HoloLens is great.
I think HoloLens is probably, I don't want to say easier, because obviously they've had to put in a massive amount of effort and money into this, but I think the way that it works is better because when you move, it can relate to that. It doesn't have to say, how would this wall react, or how do we respond to corners, or that sort of thing. But anyway, Zach, we should probably talk about Microsoft's Holographic being opened up to other devices such as the HTC Vive.
Yes.
So that's pretty big news. It relates to the poll that we actually did this week as well, but we'll get to that in a second. So at Computex, we got some really early morning news. I was waking up in the UK, and there was like already news starting to roll out about from Computex, whatever it is. In any event, so Microsoft believes that there's going to be 80 million devices running some sort of virtual reality by the year 2020, and so they have business opportunities that are come from mixed reality because they're opening up the Microsoft Holographic platform. So they already have partnerships to work with people like AMD, or not like, including Intel, AMD, Qualcomm, HTC, Acer, Asus, CyberPower PC, Dell, Falcon Northwest, HP, iBuyPower, Lenovo, and MSI, and many, many more, I'm sure. And so they kind of break down, this basically they want to be able to have the holographic platform behind mixed reality be able to work with different devices. So they kind of showed this concept video of someone designing an entire building, and then the HTC Vive like shows up, and they're there even though they're using a different device. And so I think this is a really big deal. I know that the developers that I've seen on Twitter have been very excited about it. Thomas Negro was saying like this is a big deal, and I agree. I think this is a really big deal because it opens it up to basically how Windows works anyway, but not just with an operating system, but with this whole Microsoft Holographic, where other OEMs can make things that work with a Microsoft service or operating system. So Zach, what are your thoughts on this specific opening of Microsoft, it's Windows Holographic?
How does it work? Because
You have no idea how it works. That's not my job.
I mean, like, so how it sounds is that Microsoft is going to license the Windows HoloLens OS pretty much, right? In the sense that, hey, you can OEMs can build HoloLens-like devices.
Well, I think it's like a framework that they're opening up, right?
Well, I mean, like, they're saying HTC Vive's one of them, but the HTC Vive isn't augmented, it's completely virtual. So how would you display holograms in a virtual world?
I don't know how they're going to work with these things.
Maybe I've got the wrong end of
cool.
I haven't looked into this, so I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it, even if I don't think it's going to turn an HTC Vive into a HoloLens. I think what it is it's about mixed reality. So it's interacting. The example that you can imagine interacting with your real hands, but when using an HTC Vive.
Yeah.
And so it's mixing. It doesn't turn a HoloLens into a Vive. It doesn't turn a Vive into a HoloLens, but it gets you some of that mixed reality together. So I think it's pretty exciting. We always big fan of opening up framework and that sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And it'd be good if, you don't want an example where you're at one futuristic super company and they're at a futuristic super company and you can't work together at all. It'd be nice to, at least be able to have some sort of connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's see here. I'm trying to think. I haven't read this yet, but The Verge seems to have an entire article. Yeah, The Verge had a Q&A with Meyerson about this. So usually we don't push, but we have to cite, when we come from them. So they have a whole Q&A with Meyerson on this specifically. So there you go.
Yeah, did you do the poll already?
Nope, about to do it.
Okay.
Basically, I asked which poll or which holographic or which virtual or augmented reality device people want the most. And so the choices were, and it's stemming off this big news, Oculus Rift, HoloLens, HTC Vive, and other. Zach, I already know your answer from previous podcasts, but which one of these devices would you like?
The Vive.
Really?
Well, HoloLens is obviously the best one, but the Vive would be second.
Okay. I thought I was like HoloLens. As you might expect, on a Windows-centric site, HoloLens won in a landslide, gaining 86% of the vote, slightly over. Second place was the Vive. Third place was Oculus. Like I said, sometimes these polls, I try to make them more even. This one was a little more of a landslide. But I see the strengths and weaknesses of both. I personally would prefer a HoloLens because I would use it less for gaming and more for replacing everything in my room with one device. But I think, especially if you're into gaming, I would lean more towards a Vive or an Oculus. I think they're both pretty cool. And
Yeah, the Vive is definitely the best out of the virtual reality headsets.
So I think it's all pretty exciting.
Definitely.
So there you go. All right. Well, moving on from the exciting world of holograms, virtual reality, mixed reality, and all that stuff, we have an app that leaked this week, Zach.
The Skype Universal Windows app leaked for mobile. Now, I have no idea on the details because Sean put the wrong link in the OneNote.
What?
I think
find it.
from memory, I believe the App X leaked, so you can sideload it onto your device now, onto your phone now, and it's pretty much like the desktop app. It's got dark mode, which is pretty nice.
Windows Central sent a link from a particular leaker that they knew, and you can sideload it. It's mostly featured, but it does not support Skype calling yet.
It should do. It should do Skype calling.
It's not what they said in Windows Central's article.
Okay, well, if we're wrong, it's Windows Central's fault, not ours.
Like I said, yeah, sorry about the link there. But, yeah. So, there you go. Zach, do you have access to that or not? Or have you sideloaded it?
Yeah, I'm running a version of it. I like it. I mean, it's very nice. I mean, the UI isn't all there yet. It's a bit clunky here and there. But it works. I can send text message, Skype messages. I can make phone calls. I'm going to make a phone call with it right now.
No, don't. That's what they said in their thing.
I don't know.
But in any event, I'm crazy. I'm wrong. Whatever.
Please record a message. Afterwards, your message will be
What are
played
you
back
doing,
to you.
Zach?
I'm making a phone call with it. It works.
Well, then I'm crazy.
Yeah, well, maybe I'm running a newer version. I don't know. But yeah, so that's leaks if you want to go try that out. I would
Yeah,
wait
it
for
says
the...
in bold letters, it does not yet make nor receive Skype calls.
I think they mean
That's on
video.
Windows Central's article in bold letters.
It must be an older version. I don't know. Well, yeah,
any event,
I would wait. I'd wait for the official release because that's not far away now. To be fair, thinking about it, we've only got a month of Redstone 1 development left. Microsoft has to pick up their game to fix this Skype app. Yeah. Also, not only that, but the Facebook Messenger from iOS was kind of leaked / released on Windows 10 Mobile this week. It's available in the store now, but only in certain regions. But then also at the same time, maybe not, because it only seems to be working for some people. I know, Sean, you changed your region, right? And it worked for you.
Yeah, I changed it to France, downloaded it, changed it back. Works mostly fine.
Yeah. And what's mostly fine? What's wrong with it?
Well, it's a beta app, so that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a beta app. So
From what I was using before it was released, love it. It's one of
it's
the
almost
best apps.
flawless. It's a very good app.
Very good app indeed. I want all apps to be this feature complete.
Zach, I can send GIFs
Yeah.
and I can send stickers now.
And you
on
can
my
rename
Facebook
people. You
Messenger.
can do nicknames. You can change colours of group chats or normal chat. You can do so much. Messages.
So amazing.
Messages
I just
such
love
a
it.
yeah. Messenger is such a big world. I had no idea existed. All I thought Messenger was Facebook messaging. Nope. There's like you can play chess. There's loads of things you can do with it.
It's a whole new world.
See, this is what I say with Windows Phone users. They're always like left in the old decade of technology. Like we're still using things that just like I'll tell you what, WhatsApp is doing a pretty good job with keeping things up to date.
Yeah, I use WhatsApp quite a bit. I agree with you, Zach. I think there's probably some complaints that the Facebook, it doesn't look native to Windows 10.
Who
And I
cares?
agree that it doesn't look super native.
Who
But the
cares?
back button works, which is nice, especially considering that iOS doesn't support a back button.
The live tile works nicely as well.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So they obviously did more. It isn't just like they obviously spent some time to make it, even though it looks just like the iOS version. Live tile supported, though it's not a transparent live tile, I don't think.
No.
Live tile is supported. The back button works, which might just be the system working. But in any event, yeah, it's really nice. And like you said, the app gap, in addition to not having certain apps, the bigger side of the app gap is not having the features of certain apps.
Yeah.
Of course, it still doesn't have calling.
Not yet. I assume that will come at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
People complaining about the UI need to just accept the fact that Windows Phone is not popular, and we need to just be happy with what we get. If I have the choice to have the Messenger app that Windows Phone 8.1 users had to deal with, or this iOS Messenger app, I'm going for the iOS Messenger app.
Well, yeah, I like Windows 10 Mobile because the UI layout, and I like live tiles, and I like that it syncs up with my other devices. But you don't need that for like Facebook.
Honestly, I like Windows Phone's UI, but I like the tiles pretty much. If Android had the live tiles UI, but then each app was an Android app, I wouldn't care.
You know, they have wrappers, or what we call them. You get like a skin for Android that makes it look like Windows.
Yeah,
Phone
but
8.1.
it's really crap.
Is it?
Yeah, it's not great.
Excuse me. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean, I think that it's mostly tiles for me, honestly. Like I said, if there was a perfect way to make Windows, the Windows UI kind of tile look appear on other devices, I'd probably use an Android.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else about Facebook Messenger?
Not really.
I just gotta say, these stickers, man, and it's full of dank memes. You can send all the dankiest of memes, Zach. The dankiest. In any event. All right. Man, that's not what I need. My computer's kind of crashing here, Zach.
Why?
Can you pull the? Well, let me summarize this story then. So Samsung. I don't know why this is happening to my PC, except for the fact that I'm running a preview build. It could just be that. No. Anyway, so I'll summarize it while I get some exact quotes here. But so someone was asking a Samsung support representative about upgrading their Samsung notebook to Windows 10, and they were kind of told that they shouldn't, and people were talking about driver support and all that sort of thing. Well, as you might suspect, Zach, customer support people don't know what they're talking about. Well, some of them are great. You know, some of them are just really smart, and some of them are wonderful, except some of them are like this. So this is the original article that has now been updated with the quote that I'm about to read. Samsung still can't get its drivers to work with Windows 10, says don't upgrade. So it's got the quote, honestly speaking, we don't suggest installation of Windows 10 to any Samsung, obviously I'm adding emphasis, any Samsung laptop or PC, and we are still coordinating with Microsoft regarding this matter. The drivers that we have on our website are not yet compatible to the latest version of Windows. We usually recommend is to keep, so they're already, now customer service also is messing up words, the current Windows version, and we'll update you once the Windows 10 have no more issues on any Samsung laptops and computers or even monitors. So that's a thing. But then the new quote is, a customer service representative mistakenly provided incorrect information about Windows 10 upgrades for Samsung notebooks. So yet another tale. We should have like segments. It's like, now for another segment of customer support made everybody report something that was wrong.
Well, you know what, so just never listen to a support rep. If you're going to a support rep for like information about things, if they're not there, if you're asking them about information, don't listen to it. If you're asking them to fix something, maybe they can do it or give you a walkthrough. But if you're asking them, hey, when's Windows 11 coming out? And they say, it's coming out in 3 years, don't listen to it. Yeah. Because they have no idea.
What I want to know is, why would you send that? If you don't know the answer, I'm assuming that these support reps are at some sort of computing device, and that they also work for a company, and that there are resources. And if you don't know the answer, you should say, I don't know the answer to that. Or, let me look at the website with you. Here is a link to the appropriate whatever. Don't just like make it up on the spot and just do whatever you want.
No. I mean, I guess they must follow some kind of internal memo. I don't know.
Yeah, but how many times have we heard customer support reps say, this isn't coming, this is coming, all that sort of thing, and then it doesn't come.
Yeah, I don't know. So if you remember when we had those announcements? Well, to be fair, they were following official announcements, the support reps, but they were like, Windows 10 Mobile is coming in December.
Yeah, exactly.
Windows 10 Mobile is coming in January.
And in Mexico, a support rep said X, Y, and Z. Therefore, it's happening across the whole world. And then it wasn't.
It never did. But yeah, so don't listen to support reps. They lied to you.
Or at least they have misinformation.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Zach, my OneNote is completely crashed, so you got to take over this last story.
Yeah, this is the last story anyway. Sad news for car drivers. Car drivers? People who drive cars. Microsoft will not be building a Surface car, unfortunately. But they are in talks with 7 or 8 automakers. If they did,
it would have been made out of magnesium.
That would have been beautiful. They are in talks with 7 or 8 automakers on tech applications. So if you're expecting Microsoft to follow Apple with making a smart car, they don't have any plans. Microsoft says we won't be building our own autonomous autonomous.
My name's Hippopotamus. Rhyme Rhinoceros.
I'm tired. I need to sleep and I'm hungry. So yes, vehicle that we would like to enable that word comes up again. Auto cars and assisted driving as well. So Microsoft doesn't really give a crap about cars apparently. They don't mind having Windows 10 in cars, I don't think, but they don't plan to build an actual physical car that you can sit inside. I'm sure they will lease their software to people like Ford or whoever wants to build a smart car. Because I don't think Apple are going to lease their software, because Apple's Apple. They're a closed garden. I guess they could do Google stuff. Does Google have car software? I think they do. They must do. They've got their own auto car. So,
well, they have a self-driving car. So
yeah. So Microsoft is not joining. Microsoft yet again is saying no to a market that may one day prove to be popular. That's pretty much what I'm taking from this.
Yeah, but they're way ahead on holographic. So that's fine.
Yeah, but how useful are holograms? Oh, excuse me.
How useful is like HoloLens? I mean, you and I have been drooling over it.
Yeah, but only as like a cool thing for now. But in 20 years' time, when everybody's got one and Google have their own version and Apple do, what? You know.
I get if they're the first augmented reality that hits the market, people will use it.
I bet they don't. I bet HoloLens is one of the. I bet HoloLens is like the Windows XP tablet from 2002. This is the future, and nobody cared until 2010, and when Apple released the iPad. So HoloLens would be like, "This is the future." Microsoft would be, "Here's the HoloLens. This is the future," and then nobody would care for 10 years, and then Apple
and then Google
will
come out with the same thing.
Yeah, and it'd be like, "Wow, this is revolutionary! Best thing ever."
Yeah.
That's how I bet it'll happen. I hope it doesn't.
Zach, you want to know a fun bug that somehow happened?
What?
I don't think I have mouses without borders running on either of my PCs, but if I swipe from the right, it's like somehow my Surface and this laptop have connected to each other, even though they're not running a program to do that anymore.
Huh? How?
I think it's like a remnant. I thought I uninstalled it, but I guess it never actually uninstalled.
No, that's not possible.
Well, maybe it's running in the background and I never knew about it.
Maybe Microsoft is building a secret feature. If you're signed into the
No.
same Microsoft account. Oh, if two devices are sitting next to each other, Windows 10 just knows, and then you can just use the same mouse.
I honestly, I think it's still running Mouses Without Borders, but I don't think that's on my PC anymore. Anyway, that's not related to the podcast. This is a really fun thing.
Yeah, that's it. That's all the story this week.
Yep. So there's that.
Yes, that is that.
You were hosting, so go ahead and close out.
Yes. So that was the WinBeta podcast for the week of June 3rd, 2016. You can follow me on Twitter at ZachB_. You can follow Sean Michael on Twitter
at Sean_Michael_UK. You
can follow WinBeta on all the sorts of social media on Twitter at winbeta.dot.org. On Facebook, just search for us on Facebook as well as Google+, YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. You can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes and wherever else, whatever your favourite podcast service is. I'm sure we're on there. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.